Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Saturday. This is Devils After Dark, coming to you live from American Whiskey, 51 Edison Place, across the street from Prudential Center, next to Championship Plaza. I'm your host, Sam Woo, and going cross-continent to the Michael J. Fox Studios in beautiful Beverly Hills, California. It's Scotty of SiriusXM Liquid Metal, as we're streaming on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, Twitch, and now on Instagram Live on the Let's Go Devils Network. Jack Hughes is a Rangers killer. Devils winning 6-3 today across the street at Prudential Center over the New York Rangers. Devils on a 4-game heater, Scotty. It's starting to heat up, and this crowd is getting nuts here at American Whiskey.
Well, that's great news over there at American Whiskey. Make sure you take care of all your bartenders and your servers. Tip them nice. Take care of them. Say hello to Sam Woo and get yourself a Sam Slice or a Sam Salad exclusively at American Whiskey. What's up, everybody? Yes, Saturday afternoon game at the Rock. It's Scotty. And hello to everyone on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and X out there. The rivalry series reunited here for the first of 3 games that we've been waiting quite some time for. And we know that this is basically our playoff series for this year. So game number 1 against the Rangers at home at the Rock, Prudential Center. Jonathan Quick versus Jacob Markstrom, the battle of the blah, as both these teams are in the bottom of the conference here. But whatever. Like I said, it's our playoff series, all right? And by the way, nobody's talking about the astronomical big move that happened for the New Jersey Devils at the trade deadline. Luke Glendening was claimed, okay, by the Philadelphia Flyers. Everyone was saying no moves were made. I beg to differ. See you later, Luke. You were good in the face-off circle. Anyway, Devils Rangers today, you know, both teams are going to be up for it no matter where they are in the standings, because this rivalry is something special. It's one of the best rivalries in sports. I said it, not hockey, in sports. Took over a Seinfeld storyline during one of the seasons. Not many teams get to say that. But the Devils started off hot, came out there, and about a buck into the game, right? What was it? Let me just see here. 1:06 into it. The kids call him Mr. Glass. Was able to put a pass across to Jesper Bratt, who slams it home with the big follow-through past Jonathan Quick for his first goal post-Olympic break. Jesper Bratt gets his 14th, 1:06 into the game, coming from Cody Glass and Jonathan Kovacevic. And the Devils were looking good. And then all of a sudden, Jonathan Quick made a very impressive save on Timo Meier, a la the exact same play that the Devils just scored on. Okay? It was a pass across, Timo, boom, big blast. But Quick was able to get across and stop that bad boy. And he also stopped all the momentum of the Devils in the first period. Because then after that, the Rangers basically came through and scored 2 goals rather quickly. One at 6:26 and then another one, Gavrikov at 8:36, coming over in that Panarin deal from the Kings. So it was a little bit shaky there, you know. I don't know. Both of those saves were a little, maybe kind of want it back. Markey did make a big one, closing the 5-hole in between both those goals. But again, at 6:26 and 8:36. So 2:10 apart from each other. Rapid fire goals by the Rangers against the Devils. And then right after, Dawson Mercer got set up on the exact same play again. The cross-ice pass for the big slam, and then he misses the net. So you're trying to figure this out here. Actually, we got 3 different plays, but there are 3 different outcomes from the same play. First one across to Bratt, in the net. Second one across to Timo, big save. Third one across to Mercer, missed the net. But either way, it's 2-1 at this point. And then Mercer again on the power play has an opportunity that he misses, but on said same power play, the other Hughes brother, Luke, you underestimate my power, puts a shot on net. Sort of a, how did I have this written? The dead duck wobbler towards goal. And sometimes the dead duck wobbler will be quite a tricky puck to play, my friend, but not if your name is Dawson Mercer today, because he was able to get a stick on it, and you saw it going like, but all of a sudden flattens out and changes direction past Jonathan Quick late in the period on the power play. That's right, a PPG power play goal for the New Jersey Devils at 19:47 of the first. Dawson Mercer gets his 15th of the year, coming from Luke. That's his 24th assist, and the Grits and the Mitts. That's right, Arsenij Gritsiuk. We'll talk about him in a little bit as well. Gets his 16th assist of the year to tie it up 2-2 right there at the end of the first period. Now we move into the second. Okay, the Devils are starting to play better now. Okay, they did have a couple plays there, or a couple opportunities. No, because didn't they get? Yeah, no, they were 3 for 3 on their power play. They were getting opportunities just in general, 5-on-5 play, but Jonathan Quick was making some big saves, and you're wondering if that's gonna, hurt the momentum, because the second period was locked up 2-2 for quite some time. But then everybody's favorite Jumpin' Jack Flash comes through with his first goal of the game, a power play goal. Did I say that? Is that correct? Is that 2 power play goals in this game? Yes, and they weren't even done. A hat trick of power play goals for the Devils this afternoon, but their second of the game comes from Jack Hughes. He gets his 13th goal of the year, coming from Jesper Bratt and Dougie Hamilton. Look at Dougie piling up those points ever since he got scratched. And Jack, this was a long-range shot by him, a rocket through multiple bodies of traffic in front of Jonathan Quick, but it was a scorcher past the glove. Beautiful, and Jack must have heard Bob Wischusen here on the ESPN broadcast. That's what I was watching it on, okay, out here in LA, because Bob Wischusen noted that it was Jack Hughes' second goal in his last 23 games. Well, I think Jack might have heard that from the ice, and by the end of this game, he made it a little different, because we know Jack Hughes loves playing against the New York Rangers, and we love seeing him out on the ice against the New York Rangers. So Jack gets his 13th of the year to put the Devils up 3-2 at 15:52 of the second period. Like we said, they were knotted up for quite some time, kind of battling. The Devils were starting to get, tip the ice at different points in the game, but it wasn't until very late in the period that Jack Hughes was able to break through there on the power play. However, the Devils go and give it right back. Long range shot from that gets tipped by Cooley. Braden Schneider put it home and then put the long range shot from the point on net. And I thought it went off Luke Hughes at first. By the way, I think the second goal was a butt puck off of Jonathan Kovacevic. We'll have to check on that one. But I thought this one from Cooley actually went off of Luke and changed direction. And as Markey's shifting to his blocker side, it goes back to his glove. And you can see he just cannot react in time. That's a tough one there to put on Markey. But that one was a nasty change of direction. And then when you see the second replay, you're like, oh, damn. Cooley got his stick on it there, and that's what really did it. It wasn't Luke. I was like two goals off of our D-man today, but no, it was Cooley getting the tip, his 16th to tie it up 3-3 a minute after Jack Hughes scores that other goal. So it was a little bit on that kind of deflating side because we know we've seen this plenty of times from this team, and we're always like, don't put me back in if you're going to do this again. So we're sticking in here, okay? Period ends tied 3-3. Okay, we move into the third, and man, was it no, it was Connor Brown, I think, right? Connor Brown took a big hit, albeit clean hit. But it was just a hard hit. I can see how it possibly may have looked bad because Connor Brown's head was down, but there was no like lean. There was none of that Truba elbow that comes flying out as well. But Grits, that's right, Arseny Gritzio, Grits in the mitts, going in there, and we've seen him do this before a week or so ago when Jack Hughes got hit. But Grits going in there, and starts some of the rough stuff, and hell's bells. He drops his glove, and he lands a big roundhouse right. I mean, it wasn't a big brawl or anything like that. He got one shot, and the refs get in there, but still, I didn't have that on the Gritsiuk scouting report. I don't know if you did. Please share your reports with me, if so, because you have a better scouting. But well, we know that the Devils scouting. Never mind there. But either way, our boy Grits, love to see it. And when he gets back to the bench after serving the penalty, see everyone giving him the fist bump and everything. Love it. Love the boys sticking up for themselves. Love for them being able to, police it themselves on the ice. It's the conversation we've got into plenty times before. But either way, good on Grits. Grits in the mitts. After this, now, Jonathan Quick and Jacob Markstrom started trading showstopper saves back and forth. And where Markey struggled a little bit in the first, he definitely picked up his game as this one went along. But yeah, they were going back and forth. The crowd was so into it. Good intensity throughout this entire time. Given where both teams are in the standings, they're, last and next to last in the Eastern Conference. So it didn't feel like that today. Felt like a playoff game, just like it does every time the Devils and Rangers play. And then the captain strikes at 8:05 of the third period on the power play again. Yes, 3 power play goals, a hat trick of power play goals for the New Jersey Devils. This has got to be the first time this season. Maybe in that very beginning winning streak, someone's going to have to check me on that, the old stats. But I guess this is probably the first 3 power play goal game for the Devils, at least in quite some time. And it is the captain who gets it, picking up the rebound off of the Jack Hughes over to Jesper Bratt. Another shot going towards the net, and Nico swoops in and picks up that rebound in the high slot, turns around. And is that the one that he put? No, he put it right over the shoulder. Glove side again. Seemed like they were trying to shoot glove side on Jonathan Quick for the majority of the afternoon. We're going to get to the one that went over the blocker in just a moment. But what a good feeling for the captain, who we know has been battling all season long for this team through the ups and downs. And since the Olympic break, he seems to have been in a little bit of a goal slump there. So him breaking through with a nasty shot, too, right over the shoulder of Jonathan Quick. Hell's bells. Love to see it for the New Jersey Devils, putting them up 4-3 over the New York Rangers, 8:05 into the third period. After that, got a little nervous there. Brendan Dillon takes a bad delay of game penalty, but holy hell, one part of this team that has been solid throughout this entire year is that other side of the special teams, the penalty kill. And they did an incredible job starting out with the captain, Nico Hischier, And then Connor Brown and Cody Glass doing a great job. I think it was Cody Glass, actually. The Rangers were converging on the blue line to kind of cut down the lane, and Cody Glass got a backhand in between the guys at the point to clear the puck. Just a solid penalty kill once again when they needed it to come through. When they needed it to come through. Big time. That PK was there. And I don't mean the PK in the ESPN studios. We like him too. But penalty kill. Love it. Then all of a sudden, right afterwards, Connor Brown is able to do the old alley-oop pass. And oh, look who is alone in the neutral zone, streaking down on Jonathan Quick one-on-one. Yes, you've guessed it. It is Jumpin' Jack Flash, Jack Hughes. And this time when he comes in, like we talked about, all the other goals, glove side, Nico over the shoulder, glove side. Jack Hughes makes a little fake and goes over the blocker. Beating Jonathan Quick for a nasty goal there. Puts the crowd into a frenzy. 5-3 New Jersey Devils at 16:56 of the third period. That's Jack's 14th of the year. Connor Brown gets the assist for that alley-oop. That is his 16th of the year, and the Devils aren't done there because Connor Brown once again feeds Jack Hughes about 3 minutes later at 19:28, and he gets the ENG empty net goal and a Hatty for Jackie. That's right. Jumpin' Jack Flash gets his hat trick. A hat trick of power play goals and a hat trick of Jumpin' Jack Flash goals. His 15th of the year. See, I told you Bob Wischusen. Well, actually, we should thank Bob Wischusen for mentioning that. For maybe just putting a little chip on Jack Hughes' shoulder. And what does he do? He gives you the super selling. Oh, actually, that was after the, I almost forgot. That was after the breakaway goal. The super selly down on the one knee, pumping the fist. And what does he do? Reps that New Jersey Devils crest on his chest. That's what it's about. Right there. Not pointing to the name on the back. Jack Hughes. He's pumping that Devil's crest on his chest. That's what's up. That's what's been missing from this team for a good portion of the season. But hell's bells. Even if it's a little too late, whatever, for the playoffs, I love seeing it. And even more so against those damn Rangers. Love it. Jack Hughes gets the hat trick. 4-point game for him. Right? Didn't he get an assist on? Oh, no, he didn't. 3-point game for Jack Hughes. No, he got the assist. He got the secondary assist on Nico's goal. I knew that's what I thought. Hey, 4 points for Jackie boy. Nico gets back on the goal board. Jesper Bratt gets a goal. All around, good game for the New Jersey Devils. Dawson Mercer, Grits. Woo! Love it. Shots on goal for the Rangers. 8-5-7 for a total of 20. And here we go again. Oh, remember the first period? We talked about it when they kind of went to sleep. Only 6 shots in the first period. And then 14 in the second. 15 in the third. For a Slayer Raining Blood tribute total of 35 raining pucks from the Devils on the ice. 35 shots on goal. Rangers actually won the face-off battle today. 34 wins to the Devils 28. They out-hit the Devils 23-9. Devils had 12 block shots. Only 13 giveaways to the Rangers 22. Love it when they limit that. Great game for the Devils and the fans today. Love seeing everyone get up for our team. Let's bring in Sam Woo and talk to you on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and X. What you got going on?
Scotty, 4-game heater for the New Jersey Devils. They've got a game tomorrow against Detroit. Jack Hughes heating up. Hat trick. He is a Rangers killer. From day one, when the Devils drafted him in 2019, first overall, And you remember that video of the Rangers fans cheering because they wanted Capo Caco. How is that turning out? And I actually talked to a lot of Rangers fans here at American Whiskey. They are actually so proud of Jack Hughes because of the whole Olympic, Team USA, and all that. But now it's starting to sting that they have to face Jack Hughes X amount of times a year. And
that's the way it actually is.
Yeah, I mean,
they're Ranger fans. Yeah,
it was just like when we had to face Mike Richter when he was on Team USA years ago, and Marty Brodeur was in net for Team Canada. That was a little weird. So it's kind of like changed a little bit in some respects. But let me tell you about this victory. Great teamwork with New Jersey Devils. Markstrom, he was good when he had to be, and he did make some big saves. For a couple of those shots that the Rangers had, he could have had. I thought they were a little soft, but as the game went on, he kept fighting through it, and Markstrom gets the victory again. Gave up 3 goals, but Devils score 6. Obviously, there was the empty netters and all that kind of good stuff, but what are your thoughts right now? Because, when I dissected this whole homestand a few games ago, a lot had to happen. The Devils find themselves keeping pace with the Boston Bruins. I don't even know who is that last wild card spot at the moment. I'm assuming it's the Bruins, or could it be Pittsburgh? I haven't checked the standings yet, Scotty. But right now, the Devils have momentum, and if they can get another victory tomorrow, right before they have 3 days off, that's huge, because I think they're slowly climbing themselves into the bubble again.
Well, you are definitely more optimistic than I am in that sense. And by the way, sir, I was right there for you. I was not cheering for Mike Richter back then. I was cheering for Martin Brodeur. I don't care what country's jersey he had on.
Gotcha. All right.
So I'm right there with you, sir. But I mean, for me, this is the playoff series for me. I mean, it's these 3 games against the Rangers. The Bruins won earlier. Listen, it'll take quite the miracle for the Devils to pull that off, because they're going to have to go like 15-3 or 14-2, whatever it is left. Which, hey, it can be done. The likelihood of it is not high. So go ahead and place your bets now while you can. We talked about this the other day. When the numbers are so favorable, give yourself a shot there. But I think what they can do, is make a little noise here. They may not get into actually challenging, but with all the hoopla that has come from the Olympics, anything that the Devils and Jack Hughes do is going to be reported on. So if they get themselves even within like 4 points or something like that, I think it'll be a good thing for this team mentally. Maybe it'll have some bonding, because it actually looks like they're having fun out there again.
Yep.
Which is a huge thing. Now, let's also, say what it is. They have not been playing the highest quality of talent here in the past couple games, but you can't help who the schedule is, Sam Woo, and you got to go out there and win. They could have very easily lost this game. It's not like they just blew the Rangers out, and the Rangers maybe put like 3 garbage time goals in. This game was close, throughout, and the Devils eventually took the momentum and outplayed the Rangers. They have to continue to do that, and I think if they do that, if they get close, whatever, I think anything positive for this team, especially after the season of, there wasn't too many ups. There were a lot of downs, though. Any sort of up, I think, is a good thing for this team, and we should all be watching, and hopefully Tom Fitzgerald is watching, or maybe whoever the next GM is watching, and should be analyzing this. And we should be saying, okay, you've done this for 4 games. Is this going to be the consistent thing? Because we've seen that with this team before. And then all of a sudden, poof, It just disappears and they look completely lost. So can they keep this? Can they keep this consistently playing this way throughout the rest of the season? If they can finish out these last, whatever it is, 17, 18 games, if they can go 18-2, yes, thank you. Prove me wrong, please, please. I will gladly come on here and say what an idiot I was for doubting them, okay? I will gladly do it. But if they can just show the consistency that they have in these last 4 games, and that doesn't mean they have to win every single one of them. You know, it's a game. Sometimes the bounces don't go your way. It happens, but they show that consistency of playing hard, playing together, the stars being the stars, leading the way. Can they do that? That's what I'm looking for. And win these next 2 Ranger games. Just sweep the hell out of them.
Oh, I agreed. And Detroit tomorrow, Larkin is hurt. So the Devils have an opportunity here. And you got to take advantage of the opportunities as they come. Right now they stand at 66 points. The Boston Bruins is at 75. Again, they maintained that 9-point lead. But I'm telling you, you got to chip away at it, because Scotty, it was plus 25,000 if you were to bet on the Devils making the playoffs. Now it's plus 15,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So get the bets in there now. Listen,
get those bets
down.
in.
If you got something, you can make yourself at those numbers.
Yeah.
That's, just throw a little something on it.
Well, in
That's
all
what I usually
seriousness,
like to do
Yep.
on the Mets, like every year. Like, I know the Mets have terrible odds to win the World Series, but I'll just throw a little something on it, and if they happen to do it, nice little bonus there at the end.
Yeah, you usually forget about that to the end.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Because usually with the Mets, by July, it's season's over, so.
Yeah. But, yeah. In all seriousness, Gritzik, I didn't know that he was that gritty, sticking up for Connor Brown after Connor Brown took that interference, he was interfered with. He took a hard hit to the ice. And then you got Gritzik.
Grits.
Yeah, and I was actually very impressed by that. I'm very impressed by how confident this team looks right now. Jesper Bratt is looking like more fluid. Looks like himself. Where has
looks
he
like
been?
himself?
Yeah, the last 30 games. Jack Hughes is looking like himself. He's shooting the puck. He's just not overdoing it at times. He still has his turnover issues, but guys are getting back in time if he does turn over the puck. So, turnovers are going to happen. They're part of the game, but, it's how you react to it. And the Devils, again, they got to shore up a little bit more defensively. Markstrom, again, I can't believe it, but, he's streaking right now. Do you play Jake Allen tomorrow? I would hope so.
I would think you would, but I don't know. That's that whole hockey mentality. If they're hot, they're hot. Keep them in. But I think you'd be safe playing Jake the Snake tomorrow, because he's proven time and time again that he can come in for that burst in there, and still not lose a step. Not be like, I haven't played in 5 games. Like Jake the Snake is just once he's in there, he's on. So. I wouldn't have any issues doing it, but you know, what would you say? You say Jake the Snake, or
I say Jake the Snake.
Markey.
I would go with Jake the Snake, and it's nothing against Markey. He needs to get some kind of work in before this 3-day layoff. And Jacob Markstrom had that back-to-back, this past week.
He had the other one,
Yeah. So, I think it's a well-deserved rest. If Jacob Markstrom had a shutout today and wasn't really being tested, I would play him Markstrom tomorrow. But I'd rather see Jake the Snake Allen in that tomorrow. I mean, Detroit's a good team. They're third in the Atlantic at the moment, but just hanging there just barely. And I think a fresh goaltender back there. Second half of a back-to-back, I think that's warranted, because you want to go into this break, this 3-day break, feeling good, because the next game after that is at home against Calgary. Then they got the LA Kings, which is going to be a tough team. And then you got the big bad Boston Bruins the following week on that Monday to end the homestand. Again, tomorrow's game, you got to take it game by game, shift by shift. I'm just loving this team being confident, and Timo Meier as well, mixing it up a couple times, being a little physical as well. So, again, we've been very critical of this team. Just keep it going. Just, and see what happens. Teams like this, like the New Jersey Devils, have underachieved. If they hang around, Scotty, I'm telling you, it's going to be a very interesting April down the stretch, because they're playing teams that they're vying for those last wild card spots.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's right. So you're telling me there's a chance? And Stephen Tartas says Allen. Serve says go with Jake the Snake. Robert Isaacson, post-Olympics, 3.2 goals for, 2.3 goals against. Best stretch since before Jack's injury. There you go. Goaltending coming through a little bit. Seems like everyone kind of wants Jake the Snake to get the start tomorrow, which I think probably be the smart move to rest up Markstrom. Some of those goals. He made some big saves, though, afterwards. The first two were a little shaky there, but after that, he did make a number of really big saves. In the third, him and Quick were just trading showstoppers back and forth at different ends of the ice.
Yeah.
So that was good to see. That was good to see him not just to kick it in and keep it going for that entire game.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, like I said, he fought through it. He was good enough to win. He made the big saves when he had to. Jacob Markstrom. Now it's time to turn it over to Jake Allen tomorrow. And again, I can't say enough about Jack Hughes right now. He's really heating up, and Gritsik is playing very, very well. Cody Glass, Connor Brown, that bottom six, they're doing just fine.
Well, they're not on the bottom six anymore. I think someone who we've all been very critical as well, Sheldon Keefe, went in and he really shuffled up those lines a little bit, putting Grits, Connor Brown, and Jack Hughes together, moving Jesper Bratt down with Cody Glass, and it seems to be paying some dividends here.
Yeah,
so
it has been.
Those are combinations I never really came up with. So seeing that actually play out and seeing the chemistry that these lines are forming, not bad. Not bad. Got to give a little credit to Sheldon Keefe or whoever came up with some of those line combos, because especially those two, we just talked about it, Jesper Bratt starting to finally look like Jesper Bratt again. And also when you do that, if you separate Jack and Jesper, you're spreading your offense out so much more. And gives teams so much more that they have to worry about. If Jack's on the ice, and Nico's on the ice, and then Jesper's on the ice for all these different lines, that's really spreading things out and should open up, some holes somewhere along the way for these different players with the different line combinations, rather.
Well, absolutely. And the zone entries are much, much better throughout the entire lineup.
Oh.
When you split
Jack Hughes is in the lineup, zone entries are a different thing.
Yeah, and you split Jesper Bratt off his line. Now you got 2 or 3 lines with decent zone entries protecting the puck. The transition game is going to always be there no matter who's on the ice. So, again, I'm a big proponent of splitting the lines, but when it comes down to the power play, then you can put them back together, on PP1. And I thought PP2 had some decent amount of looks before,
yes,
when they
did.
had Luke Hughes out there, quarterback in the power play, and I thought they played pretty well as well. So again, it's against the New York Rangers, like you said, Scotty. These are not exactly top tier teams of this season,
but you still have to go out there and win, right?
Yeah, yep, exactly. And this is what this home stands for. And if you look at the schedule compared to the other teams on the bubble, the Devils
have a
schedule,
favorable schedule.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's much more manageable. So again, anything can happen here as long as they keep on winning. Each game, it's just almost like a different storyline here. But but this game means nothing if you lose outright tomorrow to the Detroit Red Wings. Let's just be honest here. If
Boston, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, and also, Boston does play tomorrow, but they're on the road playing Pittsburgh Penguins, I believe.
Yes. And they won earlier today, so they're up at 75 points. The Devils are at 66, so they're still 9 back. They jumped the Panthers and the Maple Leafs, who both have 65 points. So, I mean, I don't know if either of those teams play today or tonight, or if they had already. Oh yeah, Maple Leafs play the Lightning later, and I think the Cats are off. But yeah, we'll see. We can always keep up hope. But for me, man, just win these 3 games against the Rangers. That would make me happy.
Yeah, make everybody happy. Make everybody happy. I know Billy Dean there didn't want the game to go into overtime because he doesn't want the points for his New York Rangers because he's in what we call the tank process right now to try to get Gavin McKenna.
Yes, I know.
And of course, we're busting his, chops. Well, you do know that Markstrom's in that,
Yeah, right.
He'll give up one in 2 minutes later after we score, and that's what happened. So, we were having a little fun there.
Yeah. No, but this was a great win for the Devils, great win for the fans. Fun day at the Rock. And like we said, even though these teams are both, pretty down low in the standings, you just turn this game on, and didn't know anything, you would never know the difference. You would think this was a playoff game or these teams were fighting for first place. That's just how important Devils versus Rangers is.
It is. Definitely is.
All right, Sam Woo. Well, let's wrap this bad boy up because you know what? We're going to be back again tomorrow. For another Devils day of action here. We'll have Game Day Live, which I believe I'm going to be filling in for Mr. Vinny Parisi tomorrow with Sam Woo. So I will see you before and after the game along with Sam from American Whiskey talking about Devils Red Wings. So, competition getting a little bit better tomorrow. We'll see how the Devils handle it and how they respond to, getting those back-to-backs. We know what an issue they used to be, but suddenly it doesn't seem as bad. But, yeah, the Red Wings are sitting in 3rd in the Atlantic right now with 77 points. So, obviously, competition's stepping up a little bit. Perfect challenge for this team right now. As they're riding high, with everything with Jack, everything with this 4-game heater. Let's see if they can now turn that into this will be a big, meaningful win. And also coming off a big emotional thing of like a Rangers-Devils series.
Yeah.
So let's see what they do tomorrow. This is going to be a great challenge for this team. I'm looking forward to it. I know you're looking forward to it. I hope the team is looking forward to it. Because they can go out there and show, hey, you know what? This season was tough, but that's not who we are. Let us show you who we are for real right now. And they got that opportunity tomorrow, and I think they're going to take it, Sam. I think they're going to take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing wrong with a little positivity, Scotty.
That's right.
Yeah. You're coming over to the dark side of positivity. I'll be honest with you. I was just kind of screwing around about this 7-game homestand, but I'm pretty happy right now. Just don't F me over tomorrow,
Don't say that. Don't say that right now, Sam. Don't say that. Just sell it, kid. Sell it. Sell it.
Sell the sizzle. This team's going to the playoffs. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow here at American Whiskey, 51 Edison Place, cross street from Prudential Center next to Championship Plaza. Thank you to Oh My Goodness for filling in as the EBUB, Emergency Backup Broadcaster for Game Day Live.
Thank you, Oh My Goodness.
Yes.
Great job.
It was
I
the
didn't even realize.
Yeah,
You didn't tell me.
The Men on the Street type segment
Oh,
where we interview
okay.
the fans and all that kind of stuff. Also, Morning Woo tomorrow, as always. And, and also thank you to Frank the Tank. And also thank you to Oh My Goodness for passing out all the Rangers Suck Fortune cookies to all the Ranger fans eating in pregame. You know, we're starting to get at the Ranger fans, the young Ranger fans. And there's one kid who can barely read, and he's just opening up that fortune cookie. He's like, Dad, what does that say? Well, son, it says Rangers suck, and we know. Anyway, but, yep, that's it. I found the button. I was just stalling, Scott.
All right.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you. Dropping the podcast in about 20 minutes. Devils win 6-3 over the New York Rangers. Jack Hughes with the hat trick, the Ranger killer. See you tomorrow.
Hatty for Jackie.
Till next time, let's go Devils.